Thomas has set his team up.
Okay.
In fin fi person Mumiamu Pampe, Tare, Bentancur, physical, aggressive, Paulinha, physical, aggressive, ball winner, Anna Papsa, Ayatunina, Papesa Koenim, and Osanso Bebuechre. So the 3-man midfielder Spurs Bono, very physical. They will push, press, try to win the ball, and they will have a go at Man City. City in fin hono. Enyanya solid to say their pep pen and a City air but more offensive minded players. Mamouche, Cherki, Bob. Cherki Bass number 10. Then Tijani Reinders as an 8. Now what ball a Nico as the 6. Into double pivot with the number 10 ahead of them. And it's an aggressive midfield trio. No more push or more destabilize the City won't fin. So what I think personally is Spurs Memo GDS send your Messi asset up or more bonus. So bonus idea, they will get a goal. And then Yami say if they even get the first goal from a break.
And I'm starting for road.
No problem.
What room need any
and Yami say Omubenya goal. And they will likely get the first goal of this game from a break. Man City and Mobo Nim Felisa. There will be more fouls too. Foul Beko Koso. They will the Manchester City team. The City team laden with players or more flair. Defensively, player or no be astute to make sure John Stones, and he was solid in leading the line. Game against Wolves. Wolves tries on be attack then they will be fast at it. John Stones was smart enough, almost set the offside trap now. He was the last line and also the last defender, or making sure the line is intact and sound on what trigger the offside line. And he will be a crucial defender. He will be their leader at the back. Ruben Diaz will be there, but I think John Stones will be the leader for City at the back. But Osho more mobile laterals now. I know he is more offensive minded. Rico Lewis is more offensive minded. So I think a mass Spurs players, 2 jobs or more mobile lateral positions. They would have to contain Man City offensive threat from the lateral positions, and then also counter attack. Inti Kudus. And then also Poro, Ebeye Jumapa, but Obeye integral omni a papesa. What's my case papesa need to make call so bad. So clearly, Kudus any Poro will always be on alert. The moment Ebe Rinibono, we are initiating a quick fast break and now counter attack. And Ebefa right wa you will see Kudus and Pedro Poro combining, but Nipo Besha Asia Momono, Ebeye Papesa. Then on the left, Bentancur to help Jet Spence and then Brennan Johnson. Right near more offensively loaded. Left more balanced. That is for Spurs. On my left no balance and say Brennan Johnson and Mount de Kudusuma kakra. But defensively he's solid. Then Jet Spence needs to push it, but he's not as effective in terms of crosses. To say the Pedro Poro de Bemau. And the left side, it has more balance defensively on Beye Jumani together with Rodrigo Bentancur. And the right on Beye Jumano, but most of the offensive actions, especially anymore, a bit free such channel also never. Then Richarlison will be waiting for the supplies to say you're in their game against Burnley. So personally, what I see is a Spurs game where if they apply themselves well, to say their coach and Yami said they will get the first goal of this game. But then again, near the strength of the bench. City starting lineup near solid. But how is their bench also looking like? Osho Momote bench now Nathan Ake, Jeremy Doku, Ederson goalkeeper the entire year changes. They have Phil Foden. They have Abdul Kader Kuzanov, Omuwa Mateus Nunes, Nico O'Reilly. Then they have Rodri and then Bernardo Silva. So on their bench, they have experience to come on and then impact the game. So this game will be brilliant from the start, but I think will be decided in the second half and will be based on the changes our coach is making. I mentioned earlier, we move 4-2B for Manchester City. 4-2. Yep, I want to lean more towards that. Spurs are there in my opinion. In recent times, I'm on a boogie side for Manchester City, but I think that City will break that jinx. And it will be about the coaching of Pep Guardiola. Again, Spurs, look out for more set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks, and how they utilize them. Definitely, they have the men to take advantage of such situations. Mickey van der Ven, Bowe Chiro, on fire lineup into Supion. You have Romero, Kuti Romero, Suwe then Richarlison. Whenever there is a corner and they have to attack, these are men who add presence in the box. So a good delivery. So I am tipping. Spurs will also likely get a goal from a set piece situation, whether corner, whether free kick. City are vulnerable in such instances.
Last week on West Ham match, no more boy, Tottenham game,
Burnley,
Burnley, yeah. Oshe Richarlison in the ball now and Kudus.
A boy now, exactly. He waits for the supplies. Yes. And what she say acrobatically, he's top there.
Yeah.
So how goes no share no. He scored similar to World Cup 2022.
Okay.
Brazil first game and also cross Sana pa about Danguishi or the share. So or was Sana for it, but it's also good aerially. And a set pieces, Thomas Frank, Team Biomoye at Brentford, it was one of their strengths. Team or Brentford, no, they weren't as quality as compared to other opponents. And to Oshiawa, the other advantage was also Christoph Aya, Christian Nogard now Arsenal, Ivan Toney. They had this the black guy me refinity. Omunya can't a year set piece. They only a visa or a defender.
Okay.
Omunya they will always look at the corner and then the set piece situations just to make sure say a bit better or more chances of scoring. And all free wabano, he will bring it to Spurs. And he started against PSG. Against Burnley. He's not going to stop, especially against a team who are vulnerable to conceding from set pieces. It is a Manchester City. But I still think City has an overall good squad. If Pep coaches well and uses the bench in this year, or your coach be on pen the bench, you see. Or to me, both game, no why changes are a 2-pair. But I think this game, if it will be won, a better in the second half and mostly from the bench in terms of personnel changes and then likely tactical switches.
Okay.
I see City overcoming any setback as Spurs especially in the first half. But just don't miss out. Spurs to get the first goal from a fast break.
Good.
Who says Spurs are City first? Do not be surprised. And then if you want to look out for player to score, Kudus Taishia Man City or Harding. He scored a beautiful goal against them. About West Ham, no. He is capable of getting a goal today.
Okay, and then Ethan Pinnock now
Ethan Pinnock. Thank you very much. Ethan Pinnock. Exactly. Ethan Pinnock.
Yeah.
Omunya set piece on the house. Sure. So kudos to get a goal, and then probably a Spurs midfielder or defender to score. In fin wa na no Baku besho go so am Spurs. And then for Manchester City there akwa no wo mu nko ade a robot eye den AI obesho go
AI be
den obenya Baku bi na wetimi ahye. And then look out for run of Ryan Diaz or Sherky to also get in on the scoring. But I think goals beba game we mu. So you can go all out for both teams to score and then over 2.5.
Okay.
Look at it as an optional opesa offer. Then in Commoni Yendi Bioni and Fanfa Chelsea for Nasue. And Chelsea ball against West Ham. And it was a game on paper clearly. It translated onto the pitch.
Yeah.
I for once I was very optimistic Chelsea West Ham. One, because they were not in good form. And then two, coach no that West Ham no nim sane me sesa e dia coach ya opponent do ya no be. So mistakes etai set in wo Graham Potter team a eto aso sa. Until they two or more in their first game against Sunderland, most of the mistakes they made, the errors, it repeated in this game as well. He's a coach who believes in how I want to play. So damn the consequences, the flaws are being exposed in previous games. Who your coach now ready? You affect Graham Potter in a similar manner in subsequent games. And I know Nenre told you, but Chelsea had to overcome setbacks. One, Cole Palmer injury, and then his withdrawal from the game right through in warm-up. So we ran here to Tunase. We don't actually speak to how important before say team bear warm up, there's a coach at Tremo de Mobile Bear Park in the swing in a week no training ni bibi amoyeno.
Okay.
Warm up no ya ball line up mu who say we mu na sha se. And a coach at Tre obia ni de e was away. So the moment there is a withdrawal, it affects the game plan, not just the team. and I'm not just the player. It affected how Chelsea was supposed to play. But kudos to Maresca. I think that in the second season, your Chelsea team nano. And to BBC na emergency situation, he knows how to go into a one template or to bring out something that will work. And yesterday, yes, he changed the shape of the team. 3-1. One Nebeye Moises Caicedo. 3 no. At times Cucurella Beboa. At times Ebeye Malo Gusto. Then they will rotate and then push. 2 number 10s in Estevao. And after Joao Pedro, Liam Delap and Kao. I think Chelsea's most important play offensively without the ball was Liam Delap. One should go. But the role he played, the hassle he gave the West Ham defense, including the goalkeeper, especially from set pieces, it was instrumental. Wabra Chelsea to me goes no Moshe and Rano.
As will be any uncommon society.
Debbie was and then your show now. We are mostly looking out for the Oma assist and not your shego. Omo kata dear a car game who be a was you. Check Estevao assist no the Enzo Fernandez no. It was all made possible courtesy Liam Delap. Excellent hold up play. So then he left the ball in a space a Buama Estevao to me make it run no to me create a chance in Enzo Fernandez. Clearly Delap did not score, and for once na ya say bibi says here because on the Crontia. Yeah analysis na in commodity na ye bedi Pedro Neto. Any Shadow see crab on. So then he left Ojai to all my Estevao said Fako. Oh yes, and there were 2 things here. Hold up. And teach how many players will be drawn towards the lap. Any space created between Thomas Shushek or Noshe 28 and Afe Naef again. And Estevao Jebona. Tusak now will have to look at Joao Pedro. 28-20 on your screen. And what Estevao does is that he walks past Naef again, who has also been occupied by Liam Delap. And Estevao will pace. He accelerates into the open space. 1-2. And check it. 2 touches. No West Ham defensive line. Obo player 1-2. So it was easier. And the roller Delap play one should go into the Ninkososa. He had few touches. Only 6 touches or so. But it was not in the ball touches. It was about the role he played off the ball. Again, Osha goes by from set pieces. The corner. Na Joao Pedro Behead, which will be connected in. Ni na rumo said the lap ako jina keeper ne ho. One jina keeper. So he's confusing the goalkeeper. And this will lead to Chelsea's second goal. When we see Man U Dienuma Saliba no more foul and foul. He's going for the ball. And mostly when a defensive issue. Who are setting up the defense as the coach, you should find ways to protect your goalkeeper. And to will be on also be the lap ne for keeper na ho atono. Or allow way man you will see the road the lap plays here. On your ball no, but he would destabilize one West Ham defense so check. And that is in the net. Joao Pedro,
so key roles be
goals by and Rano. Emutre, the lap had direct or non-direct roles in the goals that were scored. And I think he made a good case for why he needs to start as Chelsea's number 9 because he brings dynamism. Joao Pedro will bring you the flair, brilliance, but physicality na de la be ofano. A dynamic. In the Chelsea team, no other player can offer that offensively.
And if one for goes and can one continue as a player because the numbers will not speak for him.
You see, every opponent and the game plan. For this game, how he was used was important. You get it? Now, when the team is winning, now momentum bar. Almost every player will score. And Chelsea share 5. Not a single player scored more than 1. 5 different scorers. The Chelsea say Chelsea team goals channel and will be it means the more they create, the more likely opportunities better for him to also score. What the team needs now is to build momentum and then continue.
So maybe in other games, or no day.
Exactly the point.
Sure.
Because the coach has already said it, or no prefer send a team no obenya 3 or more players scoring 20 or more. Na nipa ba echa nipa ba kwa or no besha 30. Now unyamfa so be free so. And I think they are on course to doing that. There was also a good game for Estevao. He's a young boy. Now we are presentation. Now it can be about adaptation. He's new in Europe. Bro, for the crowd on Tene Papa. Ediane no, weather no, he needs to adjust and adapt. Now he is thrown into the deep at such a crucial stage. Hey, yes, a copa me pro na okobo. And no crama we show.
Yes, we need that. So
exactly. And no crama we show. But for him to show such temperament and a character, even at his young and then less matured age away, he's showing that subi wanimua. Say coach need to meet tapping into no more year. There is something great that is coming. Webo no humbo onye humbo ye. I keep saying this. Estevao ball no. Onye humbo ni bo ye. And if you don't understand, check how Chelsea considered the first goal. It was an easy giveaway. Ball ya pass ya mouth. We chief your opponent and you are flicking. Or you started 3 times in the game. Ni no lose possession. A chain was a sign. It is because he's young. He will make mistakes. Normal. So don't be overly judgmental when such happens. But what you need to appreciate is say, after such a difficult start to the game, he was able to overcome them and then improve on his performance and then play the part in one of the goals that were scored. On one Casano, KBA Owe kakra anko benya 2 assists or obesha one go no enya 1 assist. Boy yo nya ya went me answer no. If he had taken his time and passed to João Pedro, ke straight goal. But ayesani omani be won the game ne ho. He will need to adapt, 1, to the European style of play. 2, he will need to adapt to how Maresca wants him to play. But at such a young age and then at such an early stage, Wachrese or the technical brilliance to understand. Dear coach, ne person despite the language barrier. Omoni omoboni na no. Me sure say be a João Pedro pen or tenekasa. And maybe Enzo Fernandez I said but almost until Biakasa, but he's able to relate well with them and then he's able to play with them, and it is a positive thing. So I just wish him well. Early signs, but this is not the finished product yet for Chelsea. A lot more is expected to come. And you hear the way a Serie A and it is a league personally I have much excitement about because of the AC offer. Very competitive. Now, my main for win franchise here. Osha Serie A table last season as a Shadrach Benyamaya. Of the 10 teams no more we top 4 no. Emu 3 pe and they keep you coach on the starting season no. Top 10 was Serie A. Emu 3 and they keep you coaches on the starting last season. Omo Babe rim this season. Como in Cesc Fabregas, Bologna, Vincenzo Italiano. And then Napoli, Antonio Conte. The rest will be assistant. Juve assistant coach. Omo de Morton and Chassis, Igor Tudor. AC Milan assistant coach. They even started with Portugal, Paulo Fonseca. Along the line, Omo de another Portuguese buyer. Then they had to change. Now they've settled with Massimo Allegri. Then Oko Inter. Omo de Simone Inzaghi and Chassis. But they are starting this season with Christian Kivu. Atlanta, Gianpiero Gasperini. He's no longer there. Ivan Juric in the wall. Then Roma, they started with De Rossi. Along the line, Ranieri by. Juric Kakwaye Jumani bi Kakrao. Then this season they are starting with Gasperini. Stefano Pioli is back to Fiorentina. Lazio are seeing the return of Maurizio Sarri. Inti Ocheki changes now, and I'm about to the amount.
As a Serie A, BBA new for the coaches league Nankazava. The bonnet the MZ, you been your differences this season.
A lot of coaching changes has happened in the league.
Now you need be a style winner Juve ball, style winner Inter for ball. But coach be answer the formation, the plan, and the game plan will be run in every game. Italian Serie A matches be a shocking results, but because coaches never tested league for the first time. I think almost best twice one measure, and all the coaches on my banner. In our testing league, nibida. Okay,
changes being him, so they waited to be one. So the continuity will be with Como, with Napoli, and then Bologna. Italiano after winning the Coppa Italia, what next? So more than a chance, Bologna qualified for the Champions League. Last season they did not qualify for the Champions League, but they were still in Europe. Then again, Italiano Diano Sanso more Mubion. He won them the Coppa Italia. So from there, we're next. Como Fabregas Esha in the first ever season as a top manager or top flight, he was able to stabilize them and end them in the top 4. From April to May, Omu winning 7 matches to us. That is what earned them the top 4 spot. Now, after gaining 1 year of experience and even rejecting offers from Inter Milan, when next Nodi Como Beko would they now be campaigning for Europe now? So Napoli, they had Conte, who in the 6 seasons already was Serie A, move 5, he finishes as the top. Conte had 5 Scudetto, 1 season pen 1 J. So if he's continuing, what does that make him? Now compare all the other teams now. Then they see. But on my table now, coaches of Mobani now, my Ejuma league in him da. Christian Kivu was then the coach of Parma, not only the Parma last season. So he's not new to the league.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Ivan Jurek, no Torino, why Ejuma Roma, and Oba Southampton di Omobewe. So he's returning to a league he knows. Juve, I go to do. Why Ejuma ni bi? Juve on the movie last season. But you on the Omoshas yet. Roma, Gasperini, why you more Paliemo?
Yeah.
Why you money be Interpain? He's now at Roma. Last job was Atlanta. Consistency. He made Atlanta consistent appearance makers in Europe. Then Fiorentina, Stefano Pioli. No Fiorentina Anna Milan Befano. Then he won the Scudetto with Milan 2020-2021. Anna Milan for Nijana Kwayo Koyi Kakra. It was Saudi Arabia, but he's back. Lazio with Maurizio Sarri. Sarri with Napoli. Oba Chelsea. Returned to Juve, he won the Scudetto. So he's a Scudetto winner. Then you have Milan with Massimo Allegri. In fact, Allegri is why in the Jumani no was Juve or Milan. He won Scudettos. And Oba back, and he's seen as one of the most experienced coaches who is expected to bring Milan back to the top. Italiano, formerly of Fiorentina, Bologna, last season of Coppa Italia or more, and then Como, Fabregas. And top 10, no coaches assessor was 7 clubs a year, but they are all coaches who know the league. And you're more new to the league, they know the league. Into ancient dances are now. My favorite, I think, if Conte is staying. 30%, it makes Napoli favorite for the title. The Conte factor alone. And I'm saying this because my mefa way means function the Shadrach. Conte, I Fabio Capello na ye be no due to Calciopoli. You revoke 2 titles or J with Juve. And yes, Anca Capello won the Scudetto with 3 different Italian clubs. Now it is only a record that is held by Antonio Conte. But he's aspiring for the top. In the history of a Serie A, coach friend said Giovanni Trapattoni pe and was just 7 Scudetto titles. No? Trapattoni now just 7. The rest, Massimo Allegri was just saying 6.
Yeah.
Now Allegri is seen as only form because in the last job, Yasakin was Juve.
Yeah.
Although he made Juve consistent, but he never really challenged due to some 1 or 2 issues. And Milan now Abefano. Milan are now looking to bounce back after disappointing season. Oman qualify crowd for Europe. So Milan team are not seen as a team that is ready yet. Although Allegri was, but after Allegri, you can see this list of 5: Marcello Lippi, Fabio Capello, Antonio Conte to us saying 4. But all the Napoli they never become 5. So Conte is now on 5, looking to get to 6 and equal Allegri. But the one in this will likely be the Trapattoni. Conte is fiercely competitive. Or no time I know about no nimbo. But he was combative and always wanted to be one of the best. In this list, he will want to be top and definitely be ahead of Giovanni Trapattoni. And starting this season, on one of the personal ambitions.
Whoa.
And the moment Conte has stayed, it means he's going to continue. The last time Conte stayed, check it, Juventus, he won consecutive league titles. Inter Milan, after winning the league, he left, he did not stay. Napoli were winning league no Ortina. And it is an improvement on Napoli the last time they won the league with the former Italian coach, former Roma coach, Nitrino Sakore. Why is the name coming and then it keeps going?
Roma.
Yeah, there be a new Roma. No, a Roma first. One of you change a share of some 6-1B, 7-1B. Luciano
Spalletti, yeah, Spalletti.
You get it?
Yeah.
After winning the league with Spalletti, Spalletti left. Then Intimi maintaining almost squad ni. And the man Intimi defended the title successfully. But this time around, check it. Napoli, after winning the league, have showed they've learned lessons. They have maintained the coach, who was a key factor in them winning the Scudetto last season. And then they've added players who improved the team for various reasons. Shadrach Mwame may send on Napoli or more transfers on my so far. Now on Fantasy and Bobo. So you will see that a squad made a list made up of players with experience and players with potential who will potentially come and transform the Napoli team. One, Sam Bukema. Bukema was on the books of Bologna. Bologna team no moje. The Coppa Italia. He was a crucial defender for them. One area Napoli wants to improve, especially for Conte, is defense. He does not leave his defense very weak. Now Napoli have released Nathan or Maton Nathan. And so replacing Nathan with Sam Bukema, it improves your defensive rating. So last season they 60, when it cost 65 or 70, which is an improvement. Left wing, after so more Ton Kvaratskhelia Monaco PSG, Napoli were struggling a bit. They only needed the momentum generated by the likes of Lukaku and the Scottish Scott McTominay and the Pushy Omokoy. Now they've gotten a replacement for the left wing in Noah Lang, who excelled for PSV Eindhoven, Abroboje the Eredivisie. But not just that. Who Miguel Gutierrez were. Now Miguel Gutierrez played and excelled for Girona. For the past 2 seasons, he's been one of their best players. The position was a true left back, but he's originally an offensive-minded left wing back. So Conte is presenting options. Instances of a 4-3-3, and now with a 4 back. Noah Lang is there to play and excel from the left wing. But if he chooses to go for the typical Conte 3 back, near about wing backs, Miguel Gutierrez will cover for the left position, Nadi Lorenzo up for the right wing position. Then what the goalkeeper Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic now no Bolazio. This is a who is a goalkeeper and was on the books of Torino. Lorenzo Luca Abba. Then Kevin De Bruyne. Now that is why De Bruyne's signing is more important. De Bruyne any forms because of pra and an age 34. But De Bruyne one, he is entering a league that respects such qualities. One, technical ability. Luka Modric called Milan more bonabaso. Difference between De Bruyne and Luka Modric now. Bakum time pra. But whatever Luka Modric will offer in terms of on the pitch quality, De Bruyne or. But De Bruyne, he is more offensive oriented. Obesha goals, Obama assists. Even in last season now, he gave 19 goal involvements for Manchester City. Into Liga. Or more like Dzeko. After Man City came to Roma, Serie A is sustaining Majeko Bobo no for beyond 6 seasons. Lukaku, Premier League or by Serie A Najeno, he's a 2-time Scudetto winner and a respected striker in the league. I can go on and mention a couple of names too. It's De Bruyne Eba Liga, heavy. And if Napoli are able to manage his injury situation, he will be the key man for them this season. Wama, he is able to affect the dressing room more positively. So Napoli are my favorite for the title, but I can also give mentions to other teams.
Okay.
Inter Milan. Inter for na omuye good. They were winning the treble and it's April near this uncommon.
Sure.
PSG for Nesam go Garenum Crache BB. Now the talk is, where do Inter Milan go from here? At times I need a value unless they are absent. They be Akomeah, so it becomes normal. Akomeah. That Akomeah mano. The listeners and the audience feel it. Akomeah wa hand coach exactly. So if you want to know a person's true value, check when they are not present, not when they are present.
Okay.
Simone Inzaghi Jumo Yema Inter Milan. Now in his absence, and how Inter Milan cope will be very crucial. Inter team no. Ne here reinforcement. Bebre. Inzaghi managed it. Until within 24 now, they did not just play and excel. It was a